What's up, good people? Welcome back to Beyond Sides Podcast. As usual, I'm your host Phillip and this is the third episode. Kwa hii episode tunaongelea the SGR experience in Kenya. Hii episode imekuwa long overdue and it's time to get it over with. But first, a brief overview of this podcast. Well, Beyond Sides Podcast is a space where I share details about where I traveled to. The first two episodes took us to Taita Taveta and then Kilifi County. In most of these trips, I do use SGR, so it was only right that one of these episodes would be about the SGR experience. And so, let's start this, shall we? We will start with this tweet by Kenya Railways that I saw the other day. They were basically reminding us that whatever we call SGR should be called Madaraka Express Passenger Service. And I was like, you guys are too late. We already call it SGR. There's nothing you can do about it. The sooner we get over that, the better. But anyway, there are three types of trains. When you try booking an SGR train online, you'll get an option to pick one of these three trains. Inter-county train, express train, and the Suswa train. The Suswa train is rather obvious. It's the one that goes to the Naivasha dry port that is being marred by a lot of politics. But this is not the right platform for that. What I'll do is to explain the difference between inter-county and express train. The inter-county train makes stops at each and every major train station between Nairobi and Mombasa. On the other hand, the express train has only one stop. That is Voi. It means the express train takes a shorter time. It's about 40 minutes faster. Okay, the inter-county train takes 6 hours. The express train takes about 5 hours and maybe 20 minutes. That is one thing that you need to note about inter-county train and express train. So, how is the SGR experience? And Harper will be talking about the booking process, how to access the station, the boarding process, and then what you experience while within the train, the onboard amenities. And we'll finish with the Suswa train. I'll give a little bit more details about the whole process of the Suswa train, maybe why you should go or why you shouldn't. So, to answer the booking process. Naeza sema this is an easy process. The booking process is simple, it's online, there's no cash involved. When you're booking online, you'll just search SGR tickets and you'll get the website either through your phone or using a computer. You can book for yourself or as many as you want. You need the name of the person traveling, their identity card number, and their phone number. Those ones will be required when you're entering the details about the people who you are booking for. And when it comes to payment, it's automated. You can use M-Pesa, for example. Most people use M-Pesa. You don't have to go to your M-Pesa, app to pay. After filling on the details, you'll be prompted to enter your PIN, and from there, the transaction will be automated. It will be done without your input, and then you'll get the message. And the message that you get will carry one important thing. The M-Pesa message will carry something called the account number. And this account number is what you'll use to print your ticket once at the station. You'll need that account number, which is part of the M-Pesa message that you receive, to print your ticket at the station. You'll enter the account number and then phone number. And if you've booked for 6 people, the machine will print all those 6 tickets. That's the process of booking. If there is any issue that I have with the SGR system, is the process of kufika kwa train station. In all the towns, the train station is far away from the city center, be it Nairobi, Ngong, Voi. And this makes it challenging to reach at the station. If you do not have money for Uber, which probably is the easiest because it drops you within the station, then you'll have to use the matatu. And from Nairobi, there is a matatu at the railway's bus park. It charges 100 shillings to Syokimau. The problem with it is this. They do not drop you at the gate of the SGR. They drop you on Mombasa Road, and it's another hassle. You might have to use another bike, probably pay another 100 shillings to a motor guy to take you to the station. I don't know what can be done, but something should be done because it's a hassle. Well, tushafika kwa station tayari. You already have your M-Pesa message. There's a ticket office. You go print, queue, enter your account number and then phone number. It's not complicated. After all, if there are people in the queue, you'll just see what the person in front of you is doing. It's an open process. There is no pin involved, so there's not too much secrecy. You can just see what the other person is doing. They just key in their account number and then they put their number, and then the machine prints out the ticket. And from the ticket, you go into the station. Within the SGR building, there is a waiting bench. There is shops there. You can buy whatever you need. There are toilets. The train is divided into coaches, usually about 10 or 12. And in your ticket, you'll see your coach number and ticket number. After locating your coach and entering the coach, you'll need to find your seat. Each coach is divided into compartments, which is either 6 seats or 4 seats. And you are better off on a 4-seat compartment as opposed to a 6-seat compartment. There is a small table in each compartment. You can place your phone, your drinks on top of that table, and sometimes they give you a tray as well for that. The train has window curtains, and sometimes the sun is scorching hot and you might need to close the curtain. And the train is usually well conditioned. You experience it, especially when you're going to Mombasa. It's cool, you're feeling cold within the train. But the moment you step out the train, you realize you're in Mombasa because it's suddenly hot and you might end up having to remove one item of clothing. Another area that I felt was important to talk about is the access to food within the train. Food and drinks. They do sell food. They do also allow people to carry food. You can carry your bread and soda if that's what you want to eat. As we are going to see up mbele, the food there is a bit pricey because a cup of tea is 100 shillings. Every item being sold is between 100 and 200. For majority, that is not so affordable. They do sell alcohol. They do not allow you to drink it. Rather, they don't sell it to you until you are halfway. In most cases, it's mtitondei. Toilets are available, obviously. That's one of the advantages of the SGR over, say, using a bus. Because with a bus, you'll have to wait until the driver makes a stop. So basically that's the onboard experience. I would say that the seats are not comfortable. So let's talk about the Suswa train. The Suswa train, you can board it from either of these 3 stations, either from Syokimau or from Ngong or from Rongai. From Suswa to Nairobi, there is obviously only one station. That is the Suswa station. Something about the train timetable. Of course, you need to check the train, but it's about between 8 to 9. From Ngong, you board the train at 9:20, 9:20 or something, 9:50. I'm not sure. The time you'll have to check on the website. When you're coming back from Suswa to Nairobi, the train leaves at 3:50 p.m. So ukiacha on a train, you'll have to find a way to come to Nairobi, or you'll have to wait the next day. I don't know what you'll be doing in Suswa. Which takes me to the next thing. Should you use the SGR train to Suswa? This is something debatable. I personally took the train, and for only one reason, for this podcast. Otherwise, I had not found the right attraction to have me go to Suswa. That said, I went to Suswa, and what people do in Suswa, apart from those people who are traveling to, I don't know if your home is in Suswa or you work there, most people who use the train are people are just curious. They just want to see what's there. Usually they arrive at 11, 12, and you have 3 hours in Suswa. There are 2 or 3 resorts. The major one is called Zambezi. Zambezi is a little far away from Suswa town. It's close to Maimahiu. So apart from going to Zambezi, you can go hiking Mount Suswa. So if you wanted to go and hike to Mount Suswa, then you'll find a place to sleep. You go to Suswa, arrive at noon, do whatever you want to do that day. The next morning, you wake up early, go do the hike, maybe finish by 12, 1, have lunch, and ensure that by 3, you are back at the station, ready to make your trip back to Nairobi. Otherwise, ukiachwa, umeachwa, and I can't imagine. The other time I was there are guys who were left, and I'm sure it was nothing pretty. The whole trip to Suswa, I would say, it's more scenic. You will go, there are 2 tunnels that you'll go through, and yeah. So that's all about the Suswa train. So as we conclude this, the most important question would be, is SGR worth it? If you're going to Mombasa, would you rather use the SGR or go by bus? I will say this, if your trip is more fun than business, then SGR offers you an experience. It's a whole experience. In terms of cost, it's a little expensive. Well, it's cheaper to get the train ticket. 1,000 shillings to Mombasa. It's not easy to get a bus ticket that costs that amount. But remember what I've said back there, that arriving at the station is a challenge. Most times you'll spend a good amount kufika kwa station. If you use an Uber from Nairobi, you're talking about 500 to 700. If you use a motorbike from Nairobi, you're talking about, say, 400. I don't know, I'm not sure. If you use a matatu, the one I've told you that you get at the railways bus station, which is 100 shillings. So comparing the costs, I would say SGR is a little bit more expensive because you will have to pay an extra amount to get to the station and from the station to your destination. Should you decide to use the SGR, I wish you the best of experiences. And that was Beyond Sides Podcast episode 3. So thank you for listening. When I started this podcast, the idea was that I used the solo narration format, the one that I've been doing for the past 2 episodes and now this one. I'm working on bringing on guests to Beyond Sides Podcast. If this is the first episode you are listening to, remember there are 2 earlier episodes which you can find on YouTube and Spotify. You can find me, Phillip Nyalenda, on Facebook, and please go follow me on those platforms that I've mentioned. Spotify, the account is Beyond Sites. YouTube, the account is Beyond Sites. On Facebook is my name, Phillip Nyalenda. On Instagram, my name, Phillip Nyalenda. Until the next time, ciao!